Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Vibes. Today we are at the next topic, that is based on king and pawn endgame, and we are going to discuss a very interesting position. Let's go to the position straight away. It will help us understand some concepts of king and pawn endgame, and it will basically test our endgame technique or calculation ability. So this is the position with white to play and win. Very few candidate moves are there for white. Let's have a look at them. Of course, gh5 is very bad. When king h6 and the game would be easily drawn. White has to choose between king f6 and the odd looking h4. Let's see if white goes king f6, which actually seems to transpose to the next line. But there is a flaw here. Black first goes h takes g4, and after h takes g4, black has the correct move kg8. Although here king h8 also works. The point is simple. If king g6, then king f8, and whenever king takes g5, black goes kg7, getting the opposition. So let's see the moves now. kg6 first, black goes king h8, king takes g5, kg7, king f5, king f7, g5, getting the opposition. But as soon as the pawn and king come on the same rank, this position can only win if the thing happens on the 6th rank. But now black goes kg7 and waits. And as soon as white goes g6, here there is the only move. Black should not allow opposition to white. So king g8. So king cannot go to g6 because of his own pawn. This is just drawn. King f6, king f8, and all white can do is either push the pawn with g7, kg8, kg6 stalemate, or just keep on moving his king, and it would be a threefold repetition. So this is just drawn. So let's go back to the game now. White found the scene. Brilliant h4. Point is very simple. If g takes h4, then the g pawn advances. If h takes g4, then also h takes g5. In all these lines, we will see the white pawn gains tempo with g6 check. So let's get into the lines quickly. First we will look at the bad moves. hg4, h takes g5, g3, g6, king h6, g7, g2. Now since the pawns are on the same file, g8 controls g1. So g8 queen, if g1 queen, queen takes queen, king h5, kg3, and mate follows next move after kh6, qg6 and qh4 both mate. Let's look at the other line, g takes h4. Here too same, g5, bit better because the pawn is spinning on the other file. But still h3, g6 check, same story again. King h6, g7, h2, g8 queen, h1 queens, and qg7 or qg6 both mate. So black tries the only move king h6. And now white had seen the correct move king f6, which we discussed in the last line. Both lines looked similar, but here see, now whatever black does, either hg5 or g5 will be checked and it's game over. But black again tries the better move king h7, which is the main line. So h takes g5, and now the point is, if king g8 is played, then just g takes h5. White is 2 pawns up. Let's see further to understand the technique. King h7, king f7, king h8, and not g6 but h6. And now king h7, g6 check, king takes h6, g7, pawn queens and white queens. Had black played hg4 over here, then also there is king f7. And same line which we saw in the previous variation, we get that by transposition. So g3, g6 check, kh6, g7, g2, g8, and white wins. So finally we have the move h4, and now also the only move king f7. So we get to the similar line, h3, g6 check, king h6. You must have noted that in all the lines white is gaining the tempo with g6 check. So g7, h2, g8 queens, h1 queens, and both qg7 and qg6 mate. So that is how white wins. Position was not very difficult, but I hope you must have learned something new from the endgame. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.